This is Lana with Lana Belana Design, and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk about die cutting and about one specific die cutting machine, and that is, as you probably can tell by the title of this video, Gemini machine by Crafter's Companion. Now there is two types of these machines out on the market today. That is, first is Gemini Junior and Gemini full-size machine. So Gemini Junior is half the size of Gemini machine, and Gemini machine, what I really like, Gemini die cutting machine, is a full size, which means it's gonna cut a full-size paper that is 8.5 by 11, and that is the machine that I have and that I am going to be using today. So a lot of people been asking if this machine is worth the investment. Now that depends on your needs and what is it that you are actually doing in crafting. If you're doing a lot of die cutting and you have a lot of intricate dies like I do, then yes, absolutely get it. But if you are starting and you don't have a lot of dies and you're just building your collection and you just do this for fun, then there's no really need for you to invest in such a machine unless you absolutely want to, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, right? One thing that you need to understand about this machine, and I'm telling you this from the experience because this is what I did in the beginning, and when I first got my machine, I didn't know how to use it properly, so my die cuts, especially the intricate ones, did not turn out the way I wanted them. It is really, really important to understand how to use your plates. Now, this machine comes with several different plates. You're gonna have two of these clear plastic ones. Then there's your plastic shim. That's for extra pressure. Then you have a magnetic sheet, then a metal shim, and of course, as I said, that's another plastic shim, and there's a rubber embossing mat, that's for your embossing, and this is my extra metallic, metal cutting plate. So it comes with a lot of, as I said, a lot of different layers, and it can get really confusing. So it's, as I said, it's really important to understand how these plates work. So this is going to be a clear plate. This is going to be the plate that you're going to put your dies, your paper and your dies are going to go directly on this plate. As you can see, it's really loved. As I said, I do a lot of die cutting and it's a little warped, but that's okay. You can still go through the die cutting machine with no problem, so it's okay. Use your plate as much as you can. It's really not gonna damage your machine whatsoever. Now, metal cutting plate, this is what you should be using for intricate dies, and your die should go directly on this plate. Do not put your die on this and then a metal plate on top of it, because it's not going to give that pressure. Trust me, this is how you're going to do it, and this is the way they also recommend it. So you have your plastic shim, you have your metal shim, magnetic shim for extra pressure, then plastic shim, and of course, finish your sandwich with the clear metal shim. What they also recommend is to rotate your plates each time you cut, which is you're gonna take your plate, you turn it towards you, and then 90 degrees. So that's how you're going to be rotating your plates each time you do die cutting, okay? So I'm gonna demonstrate that right now. What I have here are a couple of really cute, intricate dies. I'm gonna make some thank you cards. And this is a very heavy cardstock. I don't really remember where I got it from. It's a long time ago, but I'm gonna use it just to show you how this pressure works. So put your die. I'm just gonna cut the paper to size of this die. Simply cut. Since this is an intricate die, I'm just gonna put my metal plate right there. I'm gonna secure this with a little bit of washi tape, just so it doesn't move. Put it directly on your plate, as I said. Another thing is, this is a wood veneer that I'm gonna cut my sentiment out of. This wood veneer is from Hero Arts, my monthly kit. They came last month. Let me just grab a little piece of washi tape. Just real quick here. Just a little, just to demonstrate that this machine can definitely cut even wood. It can cut fabric. I'm not into fabrics. I don't work with fabrics, but from what I've heard, it really does do the job. So you can put your dies in there, cover it, and put it through a die cutting machine. Okay. Now that sound that you hear, it's just the pressure that this machine is putting on those plates. It really isn't going to hurt your machine. Don't worry about that, because this machine is designed for that. So now, yes, it is going to work, and that is why I'm going to turn my plates each time I do die cutting. Right? There we go. Cut my die. Okay. And here we go. Perfect cuts each and every time. Now these are really intricate, and I'm gonna be really careful so I don't ruin my die cuts here. Okay, but as you can see, cut this piece of wood with no issue. Good, stuck there. There we go. Now I'm gonna take my pick tool, just a little, there we go. So you can see, perfect cut every time. That's one. And there's another one. Okay. There's another die cut that I did. Right? Just carefully remove your die, and your die cut should be ready to go. As you can see, really beautiful die cut with no issue. Such an easy thing to do. So if you're doing the same thing, or if you want to die cut faster, I definitely recommend this machine. There you go. Simple and easy. We have our die cuts. Really easy. So now, let's turn this into cards. I have just a simple piece of paper here. I'm using Nina's Solar Crest. Why do I always forget the name of that paper? I'm gonna have a little bit of vellum, and I also have just some regular paper, pattern paper. It's really nothing too special. Now, this paper is thin. It's really not as thick. This is my card base Classic Crest Solar White by Nina. I remember the name. And it is 110-pound cardstock. So it's a little bit heavier than this one. This is, I believe, 65 pounds. What I recommend about this paper, not to use regular glue. This is the glue that I normally use for gluing my either embellishments or paper, layering paper, whatever. It is a fantastic glue, no doubt about it. But I do not recommend using glue on thinner cardstocks because the lines will definitely show. So what I like to use when I'm using thinner cardstock to layer my paper, I would use just a simple double-sided tape. You want to do is just put your tape on the sides. I like to cover my sides with my double-sided tape, but if you think that you're okay, if you're okay with using just the regular glue, go for it. Oh, this is really just a personal preference. Another thing is that you can use those tape runners as well. They work well here, and these are the ones. So you can use tape runners that will also do the job. So now I'm gonna just remove this tape. I like to use my pick tool to remove this. Okay. What I want to do is just simply glue it there, line it up, like so. And that's it. Now, what I want to do is put a piece of vellum on it. When it comes to vellum, vellum is a very nice piece of paper. It's a specialty paper. It's a see-through paper, and the one that I'm using is, I think, it's a heavy vellum, but I'm not sure. I know for sure that it's heavier than 40 pound. I will list it in the description box below, so if you're interested in it, please take a look. The thing that I like to do with vellum and how to adhere vellum is stick it double-sided adhesive. Stick it is an awesome adhesive, and what this does, how do I like to describe stick it? Stick it is basically, to me, this is like how I like to describe it. As I said, it's a piece of glue that's in between these two sheets. It's rather than just regular adhesives, because it's quite different than clear tape and double-sided tape, and I'll show you how this works. So I would just take a little piece of even this is this is like a good piece of, this is a good size. You have to do is peel this off. There we go. and there's adhesive in on that. Like you can't even see it. It's such a thin film of adhesive on it. It's like it's practically invisible. That's why it's so good for vellum, because once you adhere it, you're not going to be able to see it. And as I said, vellum is a see-through paper. So having stick-it double-sided adhesive really, really works. So what you want to do is press it firmly, and that's how that glue stays there. Now I'm going to remove that sheet. I don't know if you can see there that adhesive. And when you flip it and you put it on your cardstock, it's practically invisible. Like you can't tell that adhesive is there. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna adhere this. I'm gonna use just a simple glue for this. Grab my tweezers. Tweezers do help with this for sure. Just hold it and just gonna let this ooze. It doesn't really have to be a lot of, you don't have to put a lot of glue on this intricate die. Just a little glue here and there to make sure that it's secure. This die that I'm holding die cut that I'm holding is from Pink Fresh Studio. And I just realized that this is not available on their website. I think it's a retired die. It's no longer available, but I believe if you really like this die, you can find it on Amazon. Or, I'm not sure Amazon, I didn't mean to say Amazon. What I meant to say is Simon Says stamp. I think Simon Says still you can buy this die if you really like it. And I love this die. It's one of my, if not my favorite, but one of my favorite dies. There's something so cool about it. Okay, so artistic. So here we go. That is glued. Vellum is glued. My intricate die is glued. Now I gotta glue my wood veneer. I'm also gonna use this adhesive. It's just simple. Another thing what you can also do is use your sticky double-sided adhesive to put on all your paper if you want to do intricate die cutting. And that'll basically save you a lot of time. So you won't have to glue each piece individually like this. But for me, I just didn't want to waste my my stick-it for that. But you most certainly can do that, and you can also use spray adhesive. Pardon, I got distracted a little bit, as we all do. Okay, let me just make sure that this is nice and straight and centered. Kinda. This is what I like about the a liquid adhesive is that you have a little bit of time to move things around, just a little bit. Have that couple of seconds there to make sure before it adheres completely and permanently. You have just a little bit of time to move it and center it. Make sure that everything is perfect. Okay. There we go. And my card is done. Thank you, card. And thank you for watching. That's all for today. I used this die from Pink Fresh Studio, and I used this little intricate thank you die from, I really don't know when. It's a die that I got a long time ago. But I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer. Have a wonderful day. Thanks again for stopping by.